Alright, so I want to show you guys real quick. I've got a system here where our charge is almost perfect on this system. I could be adjusted a little bit. I'm going to take you how to take all the readings real quick. First off, I'm going to take a pressure reading of the furnace. My static pressure is running at right at 0.5 inches of water column. I've got my probe right there for the one side of the blower, and the other probe's down here at the bottom for the other side. If we look on the fan flow chart for this unit, it should be running at a 1/2 inch, 910 CFM. I also have my field piece probes in. I have the one in the supply. I have one in the return. I also have all my refrigeration probes on here, so I have all that stuff. And I have my testo here ready to take my readings. So let's take a look at all our wet bulbs and stuff. So at 910 CFM, right now this unit's producing 20,941 BTUs, according to my enthalpy probes. And there's my pressures. I'm running right at 10.3 superheat and 9.4 subcooling. Probably really want about 8 and about 15 on the superheat, so it could use a little bit of charge. That's where we're all at on all this stuff for my readings there. Now then, this is how I take the electrical side of it. So I've got one attached to, you can see it's attached to one side of the contactor. We'll call this L1. And I'm going to take a voltage reading first. So let me take my volts first. So volts first. I'll get the thing to move. Volts first. Let's say amps. Amps first, 5.3. Let's look at my volts. 119.7. Now let's look at our power factor. 0.93. Let's look at the other side of it now. Let's take it loose, and we're going to clamp on the other side. We're going to move our clamp from this side over here to the other leg right there, so we can read voltages. Let's take our power factor first, since we're right there. Power factor still 0.93. We'll come back and check it real quick. Let's take our volts. 119.4. Take our amps. 5.5. Let's check that power factor one more time real quick. 0.93. Okay, so let's just take our probes off. We'll go over and check the furnace now. So on the furnace, instead of having to have the furnace plugged into my little Jingasa box I made up here, the Jingasa allows me to put my clamp right on it, so I can take my readings, and then I just put one on the common side, which is the black one that I always use for common. It goes right there. I get it on there. Goes right there, and then on the voltage side, I've got one right there. That's the volt side, so I can take all my readings. So if we take our power factor first on this one, we're at 0.81. Let's look at our volts. Our volts are 119.5, and if we look at our amps, 4.0, 3.9, 4.0. So I've got all my readings. Again, I'm getting 19,000 BTUs out of the unit. So I got good cooling out of it. This is a 1.5 ton unit. It is a non-TXV, straight superheat. It's a Linux type unit. That's how you do it. Also for my quick connects, if I have to do any charging, I just use that, and I have my tank right here for charging. To do my scale, I just use a valve core remover tool and take the hose that would attach to the tank, so I can do any charging I need to do. This way, low loss fittings, the whole 9 yards. Great system. Yeah, it's perfect right now. I think we could use a little bit more charge. We need to get that superheat up a little bit. Subcooling down to about 8, and this thing would be working perfect. Now let's go do the calculations.